Yeah, so if you was in Behzinga's position, what would you say to your audience on YouTube?
I'll say just to continue to be yourself. Don't let anyone, destroy your mental health state or get to you. For the fact that even when Bazinga was, before his whole weight loss journey, the fact that he was also getting rude comments. If you look at some of his older videos or older social media replies, the fact that he was also getting hates. The fact that he was able to overcome it. So young children today should allow their mental mindset to be above their haters, to realize that the reason why they do have haters is because they are doing a good thing. Because obviously there are still some people out there today who do not like the fact that Bazinga's gone through this weight loss journey, but he's not allowing that to overcome him, and that is what I think leads to a lot of problems in young children. Too much time on social media, especially in the fact that the social media they are getting is not supportive, so they should not allow that to get to them as well. And if you see, Bazinga's not completely immersed in social media, and most of the time when he is on social media, he's using it for good purpose to help others. So I think young people can use that too as well. So not only go on social media to better themselves, or use it to make themselves look good, or boost their own confidence by taunting others, but using it to create a good platform for others, especially young and up-and-coming children.
Yes, thank you. You're absolutely right. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Hello, Marco. How's your day been so far?
It's been quite good. Thank you for having me here.
It's no problem. So Behzinga, what do you think of Behzinga as a YouTuber?
As a YouTuber, I think he's very inspirational. You know, some of the YouTubers we have these days, they don't really put out content that's good for all people. But personally, I think Behzinga is one of the people that, no matter what age you are, whether you're an old person, you're a mid-aged person, a teenager, a little kid, you can always learn something from him.
Out of all of the stuff, over, because he had a lot of rough patches in his life, such as, like the weight gain, the drinking problems, like depression, like suicide attempts. Out of all of those, what do you think was the hardest for Behzinga to overcome?
Probably his weight, because that made him depressed, that made him suicidal. Because I know, obviously, being fat, I've been fat before, and that's put me down as well. So, it's kind of a relatable story. So, yeah, I can relate to that.
So, what part of Behzinga's life do you think was the hardest to get through? Because, he's had his weight gain, his suicide attempts, his drinking problems as well. Like, what do you think was the hardest to get through?
Me personally, I think the suicide, because if you know anything about suicide, it's a near-death experience. And the fact that he was able to turn around from that, because many people, their mental health, for them to reach the point of suicide, has deteriorated completely. But he allowed himself to restore and regenerate his mental health to the point where he was able to turn his life around. So I think personally that was the most hardest one for him personally, and it's also hard for a lot of other people, which is another reason why he's such a good role model.
So how do you think Behzinga has an impact on people like you in terms of either weight or habits or mental mindset?
He shows that people from smaller areas, like in the country, the poorer areas, can make something of themselves rather than just throwing everything away after one failed attempt.
If you was to be Behzinga, what would you say to just your general audience?
I'd say never give up on your goals, no matter how early or late they come in your life.
Alright, thank you for your time. Yeah, there's a lot of problems that people have with suicide attempts, and a lot of people don't make it out alive. But Behzinga was able to see the light and eventually push through all of his hurdles that he has to get over, So, what do you think? How do you think Behzinga influenced people the other sidemen?
I think he influenced the other sidemen a lot. The fact that he lost weight, I think it contributed to the fact that KSI also lost weight. But the fact that KSI done it before, but the fact that Behzinga, if I could say this in a nice way, was in a worse state than KSI, and the fact that he had other problems as well, whereas KSI didn't. But the fact that he's turned around his mental health has also, the fact that he's been such an inspirational role model for other people. I think the other sidemen have seen it and used it to want to better themselves as well, not only as YouTubers but as people in general, and to continue to thrive as a group.
So, how well do you know about Behzinga the YouTuber? How did he influence you?
Well, I grew up watching Behzinga. Obviously, I was a huge fan of the Sidemen, as so many kids in this country were. they've been going for like, what, 10 years now, maybe even longer. And yeah, he's always been known as like one of the funniest sidemen. He made great content like doing FIFA, GTA, stuff that a younger audience would just absolutely love. And personally, I did. I took to it really well. And yeah, he never failed to make me laugh, him and all of his friends. And it just had a really positive impact on my childhood because now every time I see how well all of the guys are doing now, making so much money, they've got such a big brand, and he's a huge part of that. It kind of just gives like a warm feeling, because he had such a big impact on me and how I perceived my childhood, because he just made it so much fun.
So yeah, you mentioned KSI as being almost Behzinga's inspiration. I think the same thing, but what do you think started KSI's inspiration to become better, and then it soon later down the line impacted Behzinga? How do you think it all started from KSI?
I think personally, because KSI obviously wanted to get into a better shape and also start boxing, I think that's what generally jump-started his own weight loss journey and improving his body shape. But I think that's also what allowed Behzinga to morph into the person he is today, for the fact that he saw KSI maybe as the father figure of the group, if I could say, and allowed that to motivate him as well.
Hello, Justin. How does Behzinga influence you as a person?
He influences me because he lost weight back in 2018, and it makes me want to go gym and lose my weight myself. So yeah, he influenced me in that way.
Yeah, he's a very inspirational person, whether you're young, old, our age, any ethnicity. It's really good to have someone like Behzinga just reach out to kind of everybody. So how does Behzinga influence you to make good habits?
Me personally, I've learned a lot of lessons from Behzinga. As you can see, there's a lot of difficulties and challenges he's overcome in life, some being this fact that he had suicidal thoughts and drinking habits. Me personally, I took a lot of inspiration from his weight loss and weight gain journey, for the fact that he allowed himself to be changed, and he gave himself space to change his mental mindset, which allowed him to initiate the progress of his weight loss journey, and now resulting in many sponsorships such as Gymshark. I think that's very good for a lot of young children. As you see, many children today are doing a lot of bad things they wouldn't do many years ago, like abusing drugs at a young age, underage kids vaping, so on and so forth. So I think Behzinga is a very good role model for young children and young adults today.